Hey guys, it's Woody Mark here, coming for another episode of my Road to Glory, where we are trying to get to Division 1 and getting like Remy to that 100 goals mark. But we are starting with a new signing. As you saw on the screen, we signed Ramirez, but recently, I don't know why, but I'm finding it very difficult to get into a good game that isn't laggy per se, because I seem to come up against a lot of 2-bar and 1-bar players. But his team actually didn't appear much. But let's just say in midfield he had a Barbo, Remy and Sal. So he's going for that pace. But I get a nice double deflection type goal. In a way, I think it all had good chemistry. So it was a decent hybrid in the sense. Very cheap hybrid, but decent. But I get the lot there. He actually rushes his goalkeeper and I get the goal. But into a Barbo once again. And to be honest, I didn't know what to do here. There wasn't much support. I could have gave it back to Tevez, but I thought, okay, let's just run into the corner, see what happens. And Barbo's a bit strong, and I end up doing a bit of a skill move there, and he fails to attack me, and I just pop it into the corner. And he's out of here. He has left, and I quickly reset my laptop before I heard that sound there. So, yeah, he's out of here, and yeah, that's his team. I looked at it in more detail because I didn't even properly look at it. I just saw Quadrado, Sterling, and his striker, who I forgot who he had up front. I didn't notice Sal, Remy, and a Barbo in midfield. That's pure dirt, to be honest. But back with our BPL team using Ramirez. I think it's the first time I've used him in this. No, I believe I may have used him in centre mid. I know I'm using him in CDM at the moment in a squad builder, and he seems to be good in that position, but centre mid he seems very solid. I've still got Fernandinho in my club if I still want him. I didn't see any need to sell him because I might use him in the future if I decide to change up the formation. But this guy had a pretty good side, but it ended 0-0. To be perfectly honest, I did have the majority of the chances in the first half. However, I failed to take them, so partly my fault. A bit unlucky, but yeah. But this guy had a pretty good side, to be fair to him. But topic I want to talk about, firstly, just check out this goal. I don't believe this was a deflection. I've watched it back a few times, and I don't believe it was a deflection. So a cracking goal by Carlos Tevez. But abusing the game, because at the end of this game, he said, abuser kind of thing. Saying I abused the mechanics. And the thing I'll make of it is, if you're trying to have fun and realistic kind of play, I go to cups kind of thing. If I want to do more of the skill goals kind of thing, and he was very lucky with that goal, actually. Maybe should have scored the first time, but still a bit lucky. If you want to play realistic passing game, skill moves, that kind of stuff, I would advise playing in the cup, because I would say seasons is more for the competitive. And again, very lucky there actually. However, if you're wanting to trying players out, all of that kind of stuff, you play in the cups. Hence why I actually don't have as many coins as I should have, because I test a lot of players out and I like to play cup matches. Here I'm going full out so I can play seasons, I'm competitive in seasons. But if I'm testing out players, let's say I'm trying out Balassi, I don't particularly want to put him in seasons, as he might not be good enough for seasons per se. So yeah, it's sort of the way that goes. But this guy is currently 2-1 up and gives the ball away cheaply, and I just tuck in the corner to make it 2-1. So not two goals all, I believe. So yeah, he tucked in the corner, and yeah, that seemed to work out pretty well. So now he's on the ball, and to be honest, I thought he was going to make a mistake with his pass, so I gave him space, and he did. But El Shaarawy on the ball, I'm just taking my time with it, seeing what opportunities appear, and I see Shaqiri on the right-hand side, and I thought, go for it, and I scored. And I was pretty shocked, to say the least, because I thought I was going to lose it. I didn't think I would get any opportunities, but I did. So I won. GG. and you're going to see his message right at the end, I believe around now. Pace abuse wins again. Well, no, I think it is pace abuse or abuser wins again. So it's sort of like, well, it's the way to win at the end of the day. To become the best, you got to do stuff to be the best. Like, this guy's got the best side, he wants to win, so he uses that side. It's as simple as that. However, if you're in it for fun and trying out players, it's annoying when you come up against these sort of teams because your chances decrease, of course. However, in seasons, you're most likely going to come up against the OP sides as people go for it more. In cups, you're most likely going to come up against good sides that have weaknesses. For instance, you might come up against more defenders like Zabaleta, let's say, or more players like Rojo, Kabul, that kind of standard which you can get goals out of. Because, to be honest, even though that 3-2 seemed like a good game, I found it to be really boring, actually. I felt there was no moves being made. I couldn't get any goals. Like, there was no clear-cut chances. I just found it quite boring to play, to be honest, that game in particular, and it finished 3-2. So it was sort of like, okay then. Because in cups, it seems to open up a lot more, and my team tends to be a bit more open. But, head it clear, and gets a bit of luck, and triple shot, I guess, but Begovic on the ball, and like, my advice is when you're with the keeper, just take your time, because the more you take your time, the more you're going to see your options and all of that. If you rush it, especially if you're doing it from a corner and no one's up the field, you're going to struggle. But I do a nice piece of skill, and I actually get the luck and head it in. But what's going to happen now is he's going to score one more goal, I guess, and get a little bit lucky. But yeah. Make sure you hit that like button, say welcome, do subscribe if you want to see more from William Mark Mafia. See you guys!